1994, a 17-year-old woman who was pregnant had no idea what to do with her baby. All her teenage friends told her to get an abortion because she was too young to be a mother. So she decided to do so. 2 months later, sitting on her couch in her apartment, she could feel her baby kicking in her womb. She felt a great sense of guilt and shame rush over her body. But she knew her life would be completely different if she had the baby while she was unmarried. 1 week later, she pulled up to the hospital, checked in, and waited for the man who was to perform the operation. The same guilt she had felt before rushed over even harder this time, and she ran out of the hospital with no words. She drove home, declaring to herself that she would do whatever it took to protect her baby. 4 months later, she gave birth to a young, talented little boy, whose name was Justin Bieber. Seriously, Justin Bieber literally almost died. In fact, never existed. Justin Bieber breaking all kinds of records, winning all kinds of rewards, making so many inspiring songs. Thousands and thousands of artists and people across the world literally almost didn't exist. It's so hard to imagine what America in the 19th century would have been like without Justin Bieber. Many other people almost never existed, such as Nick Cannon, Jack Nicholson, and many others. But not so many children were so lucky as they were. Today in America, 2,362 children are aborted each day. That's a lot of people that could make a huge impact on society. Since 1978, in 2018, 21.6 million kids have been killed. If all those kids weren't aborted, the US population would be 18% bigger. Just think of the impact that could have had. You may be wondering, well, if this has been going on for so long, why haven't anyone done it? And the answer to that is women's rights. I'm not blaming women for this, but the lawyers out there that can win every single time in a case by just saying,
women's health care is under attack and we will not stand for it.
Don't get me wrong, women's rights are very important, but wicked people out there will actually use that weak excuse in order to make money off of a crime that should be justified. Studies have found that in 2018, 619,591 legalized abortions performed in the US. 85% of those abortions were performed on unmarried women in their 20s. That means thousands of 20-year-old women are literally just going out, having babies, then getting them aborted the following 4 months with absolutely no consequences whatsoever. It totally seems like these 20-year-olds don't have time to raise their children instead of killing them. It's disgusting. 4% of those abortions in 2018 were among married couples, but still, that's better numbers than 85. If no consequences are applied, then this act will continue to grow, resulting in an even more horrifying result of casualties among innocent children. Again, 18%. Politics who think abortion is wrong and can change that won't speak out because they're afraid of the media just saying to the world, hey, that guy's against women's rights, with absolutely no context at all. Sadly, people believe this. It's a problem that is shaking America right now today. It needs to come to an end. Again, every day, 2,362 people gone from existence. It needs to end fast. It is estimated that around 90% of children diagnosed with Down syndrome are aborted. Frank Stevens, a man with Down syndrome, played the leading role in a comedy movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon. It's an amazing movie, a super funny movie, so I highly recommend you checking it out. On October 23rd, 2017, Frank Stevens made an astonishing speech to members of Congress in front of millions of people worldwide. Watch this.
Just so there is no confusion, let me say that I am not a research scientist. However, no one knows more about life with Down syndrome than I do. Whatever you learn today, please remember this. I am a man with Down syndrome, and my life is worth living. Sadly, across the world, a notion is being sold that maybe we don't need research concerning Down syndrome. Some people say prenatal screens will identify Down syndrome in the womb, and those pregnancies will just be terminated. It's hard for me to sit here and say those words.
These words have rattled our country, and not only stirring up the idea that abortion could be wrong, but that abortion has killed 90% of kids with Down syndrome who could have literally made an impact just like Frank Stevens did. But what does the Bible say about this? Now, the Bible doesn't specifically say that abortion is wrong, but it does give many hints all across the Bible that abortion is wrong. First, the Bible does specify that a baby in the womb is a child like any other. In Exodus 21:22-23, it says, if people are fighting and hit a pregnant woman and she gives birth prematurely, but she has no serious injury, the offender must be fined whatever the woman's husband demands and court allows. But if there is serious injury, you are to take a life for life. This statement is stating that the murder of the unborn child is just as great and just as costly as murdering a living man. Now there are laws like this today, such as if a drunk driver were to be driving down the road and crashed into a car and killed a woman while she is pregnant, that man would be responsible for 2 deaths, not 1, and will pay double the price in jail. However, the Bible is directly protecting unborn people and stating that unborn children are indeed as equal as normal children. Now, if the unborn are human beings too, then what should we do? Well, in Leviticus 19:18, it says, you shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the sons of your own people, but you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am the Lord. Therefore, as Christians and followers of Christ, we need to start treating the unborn as the born. It is our duty and responsibility as a church to help the unseen. Again, 2,362 dead a day. It needs to stop soon. Now, there are many people out there fighting against this injustice. There's many people out there that are supporting this crime. However, there's not really a clear way to end a legalized abortion. Today in America, really anything through voting for your state governor to the U.S. president is one of the best ways you can do this. Now listen to this quote from Thomas Jefferson. The contest is not between us and them, but between good and evil. And if those who would fight evil adopt the ways of evil, evil wins. Even though we may not be intentionally trying to support stuff like this, but if we just put it into our society to think, yes, abortion is okay, evil is winning, Satan is laughing. For America to become stronger, action needs to take place now.